Hey everyone, it's the RCGroups podcast YouTube hangout. You know, this could be a podcast. Just don't look at the screen. That is my new podcast solution.
Close
Jason
your
Cole,
eyes.
what's happening?
Close your eyes and you will hear the audio.
Big news for you, Jason. I
What's
increased
up?
the size of your screen on this dual shared window that we're now running.
Going from 1080 to 4K?
Yeah, no, you're 4K and I'm 350p.
Oh, wow. That's low res right there.
Man, you just reminded me, I did not get a drink. Hey, everyone, a lot has happened in the last week. Last week, we spoke with Lucian Miller, who I was just literally on the phone with. He told me quite a few stories that are only stories that you should tell, like maybe at the campfire at Seth. And so we sat around and had a long chat for about 40 minutes, and then I quickly braided my hair. That's what I do. And
do you take a drill, like stick it in a drill bit and just go and it's done?
So we watched The Simpsons every night with my son. He'd never heard of The Simpsons, and then one night we said, hey, so every night we watch 2 episodes. I'm curious when we're going to get through all of them, right? But they had Willie Nelson on last night, and Willie was sitting in a chair, and behind him was a big machine, and it came down from this thing, and it was automatically braiding his hair. I was like, oh, man.
That's what I need.
Yeah. So Jason was gone last week. He was at the Punkin chunk. And then I, coming off the vapors of a Nash Pro, went to work on the Aero Scout. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you my FPV setup. I wanted to make something simple, something that you could just walk out in your shop and create yourself, and something effective. I did all 3. And then the big star of the show, everybody. And I don't know how this is going to work, although I did prepare this time. There will not be a lot of box opening and tape cutting because there's no tape left, Jason.
Where's my knife?
Yeah. And so I've got the EC 1500 twin behind me. And there's a couple of things we have to remember to do. Sometimes we don't remember things, but we're going to have to remember, A, we want to rename it. We hate the name EC 1500.
That's a terrible name for an airplane.
I'm going to go ahead and start with mine. So when I moved to LA, I knew no one, but I did know that my best friend was in the Navy. How he got in the Navy, I have no idea. And I knew he was stationed in San Diego. So I thought, at the very least, I can hang out with my best friend occasionally. So I drove to San Diego, and he was on this huge, I don't even know what kind of, what are they? They're not boats. Are they just ships?
Yachts?
Vessels? They're like, get mad if you call them the wrong thing. Anyway, he was on it. Maybe it was a rescue vessel, but it had these huge, and I mean big orange things that were like the size of Volkswagens, like 3 on each side that I got shot in the water. And I said, what are those big orange things? And he goes, oh, those are BOTs. And I said, what does that stand for? And he said, big orange things. So I want to name the EC 1500 the BOT, the big orange thing.
That's awesome. That's better. I was just thinking like Bob.
Okay.
But I like BOT better.
Well, that sets the bar for everyone.
I like it. We'd love to hear your ideas for what you would name the airplane, folks.
So I'm going to, I don't know why all of a sudden, okay. I'm going to go to our website or our page on YouTube and see.
We've got Wick and Odibaka.
Odibaka?
Odibaka. I thought it was Chewbacca, but it's Odibaka.
There we go. Went away.
It's the other Baka.
Well, Jason, why don't we start out and we'll talk about your experience and what you did last week.
The Punkin Chunk, that's right. So every fall we have an awesome F3K DLG sailplane contest, and it was at the amazing Hodges Field yet again, and it was so much fun. We had really pretty decent weather, but it was challenging weather for flying sailplanes. But the great thing was it was so hot, like amazingly hot. Like you're looking at your car and it says 100, 101.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Just insane heat, right? But the nice thing was, like they say out in Arizona, it was a dry heat. It was like 35% humidity, and I think that's the only reason we survived the week. But, man, it was a lot of fun. So I got in on...
Is there any photos of this we can look at while you talk?
Yeah, there's photos. I can send you the link. I'll do that right now. But I got down there. It's probably the next page over with all the photos. I got down Thursday, got to see Mac, and Mac was flying his ultralight airplanes. off the runway. He literally just pulls him out of his hangar, taxis around to the field, takes off, and then just starts barnstorming and blasting around his field. And it's just so much fun to watch that guy have a good time. He was flying an open cockpit, some kind of something, and he had a leather hat on like you'd see in the 30s or 40s or something. And he was just having a great time.
Nice.
So we had on Friday, we kind of have like a little fun pre-contest. So we did an all-up last down with the 1 meters and with the full-size 1.5 meters. And, you're on that, but I've got a trophy here that says 1 meter champion. Punkin chunk. It's like in this glass.
Wow, you could knock a man in the head with that.
Yeah, man, it's a self-defense item. But I ended up winning the 1 meter all up last down with a really old Go Mini from Armsor Composites.
Armsor. I've been working with Armsor this week.
That's right.
That's right.
So we had a good time, and then we had the 1.5 meters, and I came in like 5th or 6th place or something. But Nathan Bartley won that one, so he got a trophy just like this for the full size airplanes.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm really getting tricky. So when I first started flying DLGs, it was like not this time of year, but it would be more like in July, August, and it would be 100 degrees.
Yeah,
just killer hot. And I had a theory that it was harder to find thermals when it was so hot like that, but that's not true, right? If it's hot, it's creating maybe more thermals.
Yes, there's different theories, but there's still, even when it's just so hot outside, there's still heating differentials. So it's still popping thermals, and right. Yeah, it's not a problem. Middle of winter, middle of summer, you still find thermals, not a big deal. But then we had the real contest started Saturday and finished up on Sunday, and I just have to say I'm very proud of myself. Like, I've been doing this for years now, and I'm a really competitive person. I used to play baseball and football and swim, and just very competitive by nature. So when I started doing this, I was like, this is really fun, even when you're not winning or doing well. But it's even more fun when you're winning and doing well, right? So I always try to do my best. And Saturday went by, and I literally I'm like they said, I was pitching a perfect game, right? I literally lost 0 points. I had full 1,000 points for every single round. Sunday comes along. We fly 4 more rounds of preliminaries. Again, perfect. I could have sat out the last round and literally not even flown and had a perfect score still and dropped to 0. But my drop round was 1,000 points, the max. So I just crushed it through the preliminaries, and I was super pumped and happy. Man, this is happening. I'm doing really good. I've only won one of these competitions, the possum toss earlier this year. It's the first contest I've came in first place on. I've been like 2nd and 4th and all these, top 10 just about every time. But so I was like, I'm going to win this one. And we get to the fly-offs. Literally the first round is last 2 flights, 4 minutes max. So basically you have a 10-minute window, and your goal is to fly 2 flights, only your last 2 launches. Those flights are the only ones that count, and you can have a maximum score for each flight of 4 minutes. So I launch at the buzzer, get the full 4 minutes, no problem, come back down and land, and there's like 2 minutes left on the clock until there's 4 minutes remaining in the window, and their air just sucks. Like, there's nobody thermaling, everybody's like kind of down, and we're all just kind of waiting and looking at each other and looking at the clock and trying to get a read of where the next thermal is. And all I had to do was fly like 1.5 minutes and land back in the field, and I still would have done, would have been well ahead. But I launch, go out, I'm in nothing but sink. I go downwind, nothing but sink. And then all of a sudden I'm too far out, and I'm like, I'm not going to make it back to the field. I have to find something like a miracle thermal and make it back, or I just screwed myself. And I ended up landing like 200 feet out in the field. Did not make it back, so I only scored 4 minutes out of a possible 8, and that netted me 500 points out of 1,000.
Right.
And I had like a 325 point lead at that time, and I just blew it, blew all of that. And then I fought through the next 3 rounds and ended up in second place by only 30, like 32, 38 points, something like that. So I blew my lead on the first round of the fly-offs, and I learned from that mistake, and I will try not to make it again. But sometimes you just have to fly short and land on the field versus trying to make the full time and then missing it and landing out.
So who are these guys we're looking at?
This is the fly-offs.
Did anyone come over and pat you on the back and be like, "Sorry, bro"?
Yeah, well, that was the nice thing. So it was like in the preliminary rounds, I would start walking out, and then other people were in that same round, and they'd see me, and they'd be like, "Oh man, we got to fly against Jason again." Nice. And that like makes you feel good, you know? You're like, "Yeah, I'm bad. Come on, bring it." But so it's just fun. But even when you're doing bad, it's still a lot of fun. Just hanging out with your buddies, flying for 2 days, challenging conditions, pushing yourself, trying to fly and catch the thermals and make all the times and do all that stuff. But so that's your group of our top six pilots that went into the fly-offs.
Congratulations, Jason.
There you go. There's that 1 meter trophy I showed you.
Who's giving you that? Who's shaking your hand there?
That is Rich. He was Rich handled kind of all the food. We had lunches and dinners provided. There's Nathan Bartley. So Nathan, was a guy that was 4th in the world. He was the national championship. I came in second to him at the Nats, came in second to him again at this event, and I beat him that one time. He got 3rd and I got 1st at the Possum. So he's up on me 2-1 for this year. And we got another contest at the end of the month in North Carolina, and I'm going to try to even the score here.
So this proves even an old guy can throw one of these.
Well, this is they call it the Gray Cup. Guys with the gray hairs, the old, I don't know if it's 60 plus or whatever, but we got a lot of old guys that are flying still. And that, that for me, that's awesome because it's like, hey, I can be doing this for just about the rest of my life as long as I can move. And
I'm sure this helps you keep moving.
Yeah, definitely. So it's nice that they have because they're older and they can't really launch as high as some of us younger guys. And so it just is, they kind of have their own contest of the older people, which is cool,
You're really leaning in on that handshake right there.
Yeah. I was like yelling at him, I was like, shake my hand.
Nice. Well, that is an extra 5 points.
There you go.
So was Mr. Mack out there?
Mac was out there. Yeah, he had a couple buddies. He actually was test flying like some guy's airplane they were working on. He flew a couple times while we were down there and put on a show. We had another like some kind of plane. I don't even remember what it was, like a decathlon or something that came through and put the smoke on and did some passes down the runway. Just bubbling smoke out. We were saying it was gnat spray because the gnats were out in force.
This makes me want to turn this into a feature article. That is a feature article photo right there.
There it is. Yeah, that's right.
I would have. They're not centered on the airplane. Maybe you know what? I could fake that out. I can move that. Is that it? Oh man, that's perfect timing.
Yeah, man.
All right,
that's it.
Well, you know what I was thinking is I'm pretty sure that I didn't talk about NASPRO at all last week.
There you go. Well, let me just say one more thing. The contest in North Carolina at the end of the month, normally there's some kind of pilot's fee, like $60, $100, whatever it is, and it covers your entry fee, the food, and pays for. Sometimes we have to pay Mac money to rent, basically his field. But there's this event coming up at the end of the month in North Carolina. Is a free entry fee for first-time contest pilots. So if you've got a DLG and like, man, you've been thinking about it and you want to do a contest, you can come to this contest and it's free to come play. So think about it.
Just do it. Oh, that's not right. Here we go. So it was NASPRO again, and I'm going to tell you something, my friends. No one complained. No one walked up to me and said a word about it, but it was so hot to stand in a pasture with no other than your canopy, no shade.
Yeah, man.
It was like insanity. But like I say, I'm the only one that I was like, holy cow. So just some thanks right here. So Zap did provide us with banners and glue. So all the pilots got CA. And I'm going to tell you something. I did put a few aside for myself for personal use. These were tiny bottles, and I don't know if you're like me, but I'll open CA, use it, and come back, and then my CA's dried up.
It's hard as a brick, yeah.
And I'm like, I need these little bottles like for 1 or 2 jobs, and then throw it away and get another one. So I had saved me a handful, and when I came back on Sunday, somebody had left me 1 bottle. So they're like, here's your
Nice.
bottle, Jim. So I guess everyone liked it. There was also coupon codes in there for the bros. And so I made everyone let me. There's Miss Liz. She was out there a lot, more so than most years. Oh, your picture's up here.
She likes hanging with the bros. Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Let me do this. Let me try something here. I'm getting pretty fancy with this thing. Hold on one second. This is always good when no one's talking. No,
Yeah.
it won't work. It won't work.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, what?
I had an idea. I was going to put me up there.
I
Anyway, I'm
won't
gonna
pick my nose or do
I'll leave
anything
Jason down there.
disgusting.
And Liz got a lot of exposure. That's a basement dweller, Matt. And these are folks that show up every year. Bryce Custer has been working on this airplane for 4 years, and he finally we all sat around and would not let him stop working on it. And then he flew it, and I called him after the event, and he goes, Jim, this might be my favorite airplane. I'm like, it's a Mojo 40, man. It's the best airplane made. And a lot of these guys that you see, let me mention a few. This is Clay. He used to sell Bossa. I think he's out of the Bossa business. This is Mike, and Mike always brings PA system, so I don't have to worry about it. Also, he'll play any music I ask. So he played a lot of Old Crow Medicine Show for me.
Wow.
That is the new super secret Nash Pro shirt.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes. And that is Randy Cameron, who's running for the president of the AMA. So be sure to cast your vote. I'm pretty sure if you wanted to cast your vote, you already have. He's wearing one of my favorite shirts, which, I haven't worn one. I need to go find mine. And the list goes on and on. And so there was no wind and it was sunny. I did immediately break the Timber-X. I almost brought it in here.
Oh.
It's nothing major. I did, after this concept of micro glues, I did go buy a micro or a smaller bottle of foam adhesive, which is sitting right back here. All I got to do is weld, glue some of the foam back together, and this airplane will be back. And there's Bryce. That's when we did it. We landed sideways in the grass, and it did not like that. And of course, we fly profiles. Here's Bryce working on his airplane, or maybe talking on the phone. A lot of phone talking going on. Water drinking. I'll jump out of here in a second. But it was a good show, and we had a good time. And nothing, no one got Sharpie coated or anything like that. Nothing terrible happened.
Sharpie coated?
Jason, surely you jest.
Man, you guys are getting tame in these old years, huh?
Yeah. Well, back then it seemed like a good idea. We've been doing it 16 years. So I was like in my early 30s or something when we started.
This the Pro Bro Gray Cup now, huh?
There are a lot of gray-haired guys, and last year we had a lot of youngsters. The heat kept some folks away, not to mention they've laid Fall Null on top of it, which also pulled people away. But I have been expected to get mad about that. I have people call me to expect me to react in some way, and you can't ever find an open spot for an event anymore. I don't.
Yeah. There's just too many now.
Okay, let's whip out an airplane. I'm not even going to look at the clock because clock doesn't matter. All right. So the Aero Scout, and I've been following, there's two threads on this. There's the original user-based thread, and then there's my review. And I've been following both because I knew immediately after Jason and I flew it that this thing wanted to be an FPV airplane. And so what I was looking for is if somebody made a deck that I could go, out and buy and just go pop. And then my camera lives there. And then when I don't want to do it, I just take it off and put something else on. I did not find that. I don't think it exists. Okay. And I didn't want to 3D print it. I did look. I don't think I found anything. Here's the internals, just in case you're wondering. Super simple battery tray, battery plug. And then this is new. This is my JST connector going to my camera. So I have a ton of FPV cameras. I have self-contained units. I have one that's old, but the best thing I own. And I almost put it on, and I thought, no one will ever be able to buy that. I mean, it's still around, but it's really expensive. And so then I looked at some modular systems where I have really good cameras, and I would mate that with another. And then I decided, nope, I'm going to go and just do Fat Shark because that's something that anyone can get, and they're not expensive. So this is like, I don't know exactly, a $20, $30 Fat Shark camera. I believe it's 700 TVL. That's an assumption. And then this is like a 200, 250 milliwatt Fat Shark FPV or 5.8 transmitter. And so the only tricky thing I did here, this is Velcroed on and it's out of the way of the main bolt. This is my favorite antenna.
Antenna, yeah. That thing has always produced such a good image.
Stellar results. And it came off of that self-contained unit that's from like Sweden or something. Right. If I ever lose it or break it, I'll go buy another one, I guess. But so all I did was this. I have a lot of this. It's I forget what kind of wood it is, but it's hobby grade wood. And I have 2 sheets in the back.
Basswood.
And I took it and I just measured my finger and went back, and I have a nice little the reciprocating saw with the light on it, which is the best thing I bought just for wood. So I took it back and just roughed out. I took a tape measure and cut out the square. Then I brought it back in and I took a pencil and I roughly marked where the holes in the wing were. That was the only tough part, is my holes were slightly wider. So it was kind of hard to get it exactly on there. And then this piece with the camera, that is an FPV. I'm sure I did a story on this. This is just a 3D printed piece. I printed a whole plate full, and I kept them in my charging box, and I went and grabbed one, and sure enough, it zip ties on, it fit, and then I don't think you can see it, but I zip tied it on the back. I drilled holes in the wood, zip tied through the wood, and then zip tied on, and that's the only thing holding this camera on. But it's perfect, right?
That works.
Cheap. I left the blue tags on here. It's never going to happen, but anytime I crash, I tend to throw cameras across fields, and it's so hard to find them. And so if that happens here, the whole airplane will be in pieces, but I left them on just for identification purposes.
All right.
And that's it. So
have you flown it yet?
I have not. I have a couple of things in line. I need to glue the landing gear back on the Timber X. I want to go fly it. I need to take this thing out, and then I have my goggles that have DVR in them. So really all it would be is a video of me showing you the machine itself and then taking off and flying and landing and all that good stuff. And then the JST connector, I have a tail that I have 2 or 3, hopefully I still do, in my charging box. And it goes on your balancing tab on your LiPo. I plug that in, then that plugs into that balancing tab. That powers your camera, and that's all good. And so that is how I did. It's
going to be an awesome FPV plane.
Well, everyone in the, I'm going to go look at the live chat in just a second, but everyone in the, and by the way, I think I can put the live chat on the sidebar of our feed from now on. I just had an idea.
Hey, that'd be cool.
So I won't do it now, but I will try next week to get the live chat on. But the people that talk about this thing in the second thread that I monitor, it's mostly all FPV. And I knew I would have taken it to Nashville and tried it there, but I don't. That is a rough cow pasture. It's not even.
Well, it's got good wheels. It'd handle it, maybe.
Maybe
you can hand launch it.
I didn't want to kill it before I actually got some videotape. You know, it might have been a one flight situation. So I'm going to take it to our runway, which is beautiful, and shoot touch and goes and all that. And then in the video and the review that's out, you'll see that Jason flew the living teeth off of this thing. And I didn't expect that to come out of this bird, Jason.
No,
it would be that
I didn't think it was going to be as cool as it was.
Yeah. So everybody's all about it. And it's super safe FPV plane. The motor's in the back. Tricycle landing gear. We really tried to tip it over, which we did, but we really had to work hard to do it. So.
You know, you said the one-way thing. It reminded me that the guys at Tiny Whoop, or somebody with Tiny Whoop, created a term that I think is pretty brilliant. It's called the one-way whoop.
Yeah.
With the Tiny Whoop. So it's like a thing where people will post videos and they're like, here's my one-way whoop. And it's like a DVR footage of them doing something stupid. And then it ends up, losing it to one-way trip.
Right. Like in the lake or something.
It does happen.
Okay. So let's see how I'm going to do this. First, I'm going to, although, by the way, I did get a text from Matt Gunn.
Mr. Matt Gunn.
He wanted to let me know that if I wanted to get rid of this, he was happy to take it. So nice. The force is still strong with it. All right. I've got my earbuds on, so I'm not going to lose audio.
There you go.
So here's how big the box is.
The EC 1500, a.k.a. The big orange thing, the bot.
And the live feed, we need your new names for this thing.
Yeah, we got more viewers on now. So we decided that we don't like the name EC-1500 for this airplane. It's just like, doesn't roll off your tongue. It's not enjoyable to say. It's not pleasant, right? So we need a new name for it. So Jim's idea was the BOT, the bot, the big orange thing. So we're looking for your feedback. What names would you give this airplane that are fun and make sense for this thing?
Carbon
Lots of
fiber
bots
rods.
now in the fall, they say.
They what?
He said there was lots of that plane flying at Null in the fall.
This looks dangerous. All right, we're not going to do it that
It
way.
looks cool. The video Horizon did with the camera thing and the bay door opening and closing, and it would be up different places. That was pretty cool.
I said there's two things we should decide. The other thing that we need to think about is what we're going to drop out of the bay door. A micro quad, perhaps? You know, like kind of a medium low.
A Tiny Hawk, I could do that. Right. I bet it'd fit in there.
See how professional I am, Jason? All right, first up, we have a wing. Let me get this camera better. There we go. So, of course, pre-applied graphics. Everything's tucked into this nacelle. This is a nacelle. That's correct verbiage, right? This piece right here.
I say we get flyers together that say 3D isn't a crime and drop them over model airplane fields.
Yes. Or RC isn't a crime. Look at this dump tube out of the back of this. That's pretty interesting. Airflow out. Dual servos. What is going on here? Okay, so this is, I'm sure some of you already know this, but I saved it for the podcast. So the aileron's connected to this flap, but the flap also, I would think, could be disconnected because there's a connector right here. And then you could make this more of a flap if you want.
Really?
I don't know, man. Why would they do that? Why would they
for looks? I don't know. It's a great question.
And then you have your flap right here. And then look at that bad boy. You know, there's always wing systems on plugging your wing in. And look at that plug, man.
Yeah.
That's a real
Well, it's got a lot of servos, a lot of wires.
Right.
Multiple powers and signals got to get through there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can make the flap as big or I think what they're saying, Jim, is you can move the connector.
Make the
clips. You can make it a big flap or a big aileron.
I'm not a flap guy, and probably just because I haven't had enough flap airplanes. I'm more of a big aileron guy, so I will leave it. But I get it. So you just move this over here, and that's
pretty cool. Well, I don't know. I might make it a big flap if you could then use a bigger receiver and couple the whole thing to make it one whole big aileron.
That would be crazy, man.
Yeah, boy.
Heck yeah. If anyone's seen anyone do that. The other thing I meant to do was go and look at a build on this.
Dang it, Jim, you're making me kind of like want an airplane like this.
Well, I know.
I'm gonna they're sitting there in the live chat. They're like, we'll do some crazy spins, flap spins, all kinds of stuff. Oh, he was saying an RF9. Ha.
So here's another thing.
I didn't see a real flight. Hopefully it does that in real life too.
Here's another thing, live chat. We were talking about building this. I told Jason it's so big that there's no surface I could do a build video on other than my back porch. And so Jason said maybe we should go to the field. And so I had the idea. I don't know, the battery pack's in another room, but we charge some batteries, get the SPM file loaded up, and then build it and fly it at the field. And I was thinking that doesn't sound professional, you know.
Why not?
Sounds interesting. In case you need something, or I don't know. I've built enough Horizon planes. No, I probably won't need anything.
You won't need anything, yeah.
So my goal is to put it back in the box, and then us go out and shoot a video doing that. Holy smokes, man!
What?
This thing is huge.
What about the airplane?
Prop hubs. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at down there.
Wow.
And then aileron. I mean.
Wait, that's an aileron?
No, elevator. Yeah. Mine's an elevator.
And now the anatomy of an airplane.
I don't know what these are. Maybe some sort of wing connectors, top, bottom, perhaps.
Okay.
And then we have These
Where's the fuselage? Where's the bot?
It's right here. These are hefty, man.
Those are Chinese throwing stars, also used for self-defense in the instance of a home invasion. Yeah, I'd be scared looking at that. And you wouldn't know. You're not an RC guy. You look at that, you're running.
Well, there's goodies everywhere in this box. Here's a rudder.
Uh-huh. I can't remember. Are they counter-rotating props? They should be.
Probably. I do believe they are.
E-Power says, make sure you tighten your props. He says one guy crashed because the prop came off on takeoff.
That would never happen to me.
Don't do that.
Jason knows how I roll. Bum, bum, bum.
Are we ready?
Wow.
That's a beast for film airplane.
Look at that. You need some sort of message under here, you know, like thanks or howdy.
You should 3D print a lithophane of your face on there.
Maybe it could shoot so they make these door lights for the bottom of your door that shoots logos onto the ground.
Ah, cool.
Put that on there.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so the nose felt like it wanted to come off. I don't know if that's just me handling it incorrectly. So there's the wing plugs. And here's the rudder plug section.
AKA vertical stabilizer.
And then here's our door, which I have to think is servo actuated, so I'm not going to try to open it. Here's a running light.
All right, Bill, those got some names. Jados, Fatty.
Fat boy.
Fat boy.
Now, here we go. I see. Holy smokes. You could smuggle like contraband in this thing.
That's pretty dang big fuselage for it's a little foamy.
So there's your internals and your steering mechanism. Battery. Look at what the heck? Look at all these power connectors going to the battery. Well, I've never seen anything like that. What are all those things going to?
It's a great question. Does it have lights in the wings?
I guess it does. Maybe that's why it's got that big plug back there too. It's got lights in the fuse, so it must have lights in the wing.
I bet you it's got in the wings then.
And then, can I get under the wing at all? Is that it? How would you access? If anyone in the live chat knows if there's any other access points, there doesn't appear to be. You would think I would have one more access point to the body.
TWSS. Well, I don't know what that means.
So there's...
Trying to think of it.
I guess the speed controller, but man, that sure is back. Is there any airflow on that speed controller? I guess.
Well, you know what it is, dude? It's a twin.
Oh.
There's two speed controllers.
Yeah.
It's got to power both of those jokers.
I've never seen this before. There's something for someone to read in here.
Oh, what does it say? Is it scale or is it legit?
Well, I hate to be a part of the silver-haired sailplane club.
You could be in the gray cup. It's nothing to be ashamed about.
Yeah, better than the alternative. It says, this device complies with Part 15 of the FCC rules with industry.
Oh, wow.
Sorry about my mic. So there's something. There's your receiver. What's it got in there? Boy, I cannot believe I'm putting readers on. It has an AS3X AR6368, and it does not have any extra channels. Not a one. Just a bind plug. I guess that is everything to see. I sure would like that door to open. And I feel like I should be able to access it a little more. But who knows? I don't know. Well, Jason, so I think what Jason and I are talking about is going to the field, like, what did we say, like Tuesday or Wednesday or something?
Next week.
I will bring the Aero Scout and some FPV stuff, and give that a shot as a secondary afterthought, because that's kind of my own deal. And then we'll bring this, and I may only have one battery that'll work with it. We'll see. I do have some big boys that go in my 3D planes back there that might work. And it's all plug and play. I think
I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on it. If you'll let me.
Yeah,
if you'll allow it.
What are you talking about? You're gonna have the Jason Cole flight on there. Okay, let me see what else is in here, just in case.
I'll see if we can thermal this thing.
All right. The only thing other that I see, unless it's on the bottom, here's all your hardware, plasticky pieces. There's some nylon screws. I don't know what they're so tiny. I don't know what they would be for. Obviously, the landing gear is already on there.
Probably used to fasten things together.
So what I'll do is.
Anybody? All right.
All right. That's everything. So, Jason, what I'll do is I'll do my due diligence and look at the build PDF. And then I'll also go and find a video of somebody who's already built it. Let me split out here.
Yeah, man.
And I'll know what we're doing ahead of time.
I think you're going to be really happy with it.
I've never owned a big airplane. I mean, maybe I have. I had the fin wing Penguin, which I still have and would love to sell. If you want a fin wing Penguin with the full up system on it, tell me, because it just hangs on my rafters.
It's still smaller than like the Carbon Z, Cubs, Cessna stuff. Yeah, it's smaller than that.
Sure, those wings are made to pop off easily.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just got to be so big with them on.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, what else do we have?
I think that's all I got right now.
Blah, blah, blah. Legalese. Okay, so we could go.
I'm supposed to be getting a cool digital CG scale that's really designed for gliders, for DLGs and F5J planes. It uses like 4 pressure pads and Arduino and all the stuff. You just basically set your plane on it, and it's none of this like trying to balance a plane. Like you just set it on it, and it uses the coding and pressure sensors and all that stuff to tell you how much it weighs and where the CG is exactly, like to the 10th of a point in millimeters. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to help me kind of fine tune and set up planes better with ballast.
Nice.
So, pretty cool.
When are you getting that?
Anytime. I don't know. I'm waiting on it. It's supposed to be here.
Axial has a new 55 F100, and the reason that I was so excited about this is I drove a truck. I drove a 55 F100 for years here in Nashville. It was my main rig when I was art director on country music videos, and it pulled a 1956 red horse trailer. And then when I sold all that, I was sick, and that's why I have a 66 now. But anyway, that's available from Axial. Go check them out. They make the best stuff. Jason, is this a new version of your top indoor micro drone story?
Well, it was I did a similar article. Well, I did an article last year where I was in it, and I was like, hey, here's my top 5 drones. And this year I'm like, I haven't touched my Tiny Hawk since then, and I don't know what's out there anymore. So tell me what the coolest, latest drones are for indoor flying, because that season is upon us almost.
Gotcha.
So this is me reaching out to the community saying, what's new and cool, guys? I haven't really been in that arena since the outdoor stuff's been going on. So just trying to get back in the game.
I did it. Ha ha.
Boom.
Put my head in the picture. Let me make it smaller. Dude, when we get done with this, it's going to be...
put a little like chimpanzee on my shoulder too?
I cannot do... Not today, anyway. Okay, and then this is new from Booma. I'll be straight up with you. I don't know what this is. I mean, I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy that needs this, so I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Is it a gyro? It's a gyro.
Smooth Flight RRS. Let's see. It should tell us right here.
Built-in sequencer.
Yeah, it's a 26 channel gyro. Yeah.
Holy moly.
So this just came out, and I was talking to Booma. I have 2 other things that they have. I did a story on all 3, and then I broke it out. So I guess tomorrow I'll drop the second thing that they have just come out with. So big kudos to Buma, who might be the oldest advertiser on the site. I know that like New Motors might have been the very first one based on my research, but I don't think Steve has ads with us anymore. But Buma might be the oldest. I don't know. Jason, tell me about this. What is this thing?
What is what?
What is this thing?
Oh man, it's a Kickstarter project, but these guys did a paper airplane. This was been out for years. And this is like a new version of it, and it's smart. They did one with FPV.
It's a real paper airplane.
It's a real paper airplane. You just clip on this pod, and you can control it and fly it from your phone, and it works really well. And he's like, in this particular video, he ends up cutting like a part of the wing off, and he's like, I'll show you how it does with an asymmetrical wing design. So they're like, basically, we can make any of your crappy folded airplanes that you have fly well. RC controlled from your phone. I think it's pretty dang cool.
Heck yeah, it is. And so it's smart.
It's smart, yeah.
Asymmetrical. The wind is quite strong.
It's powerful. You can fly it, and you probably, I don't know if you're playing the sound or not, but it's pretty windy where he is right now. It's
I went back and watched us playing videos on one of the broadcasts, and it is so nice now. I mean, it's no stop or anything. It's awesome.
Good deal. Smooth video.
That is cool.
Isn't that neat?
I want to see how much it cost. Oh, do I have to? Is it? Can I buy it?
It's a Kickstarter. Get this, though. I mean, they wanted like $40,000. They're probably over $1 million now.
Wow.
Click that link. Check out that big link just to see. I want to see what the Kickstarter
have something like this. Come on.
I don't know, man. 909,000. They're getting there.
Holy crap! I love it.
Insane.
They don't need anyone but their idea.
Yeah.
So then we have the USRA Race of Champions. This is where they wear helmets and look so dynamic, right?
Oh yeah, the giant scale racing stuff
This is some of my earliest memories of seeing pictures of RC where these guys holding their airplanes. You know,
yeah. I think Peter Goldsmith used to do it. I've seen some footage of him. But these are serious, real deal gas, like crazy speed.
And then we have the new Jetty Box 210 power distribution combo, and I did everything on this, including. I added everything. I didn't do anything really. I thought I had a video in here. There are videos on the webpage you can go check out and learn more on this. This is more of a giant scale thing. I made it for flying giants, but I shared
big
it
airplane
with
stuff.
And we'll skip this because it's no longer.
Well, I learned that it's not. Oh. So they stopped selling it in the version that I reviewed. Ooh. But you can. I changed all the links. You can get it as a 3-in-1 now. So it comes with the wing, the quadcopter, and the hovercraft body as well. So that's pretty cool.
For indoors, you might be familiar with the original Indutrix Switch, which was a quadcopter and a hovercraft.
That guy might
kind of a 2-in-1 design. This is a similar idea. It starts out as a flying wing. You can customize a quad. You can even buy the original hovercraft body parts.
And so the wing is it's just awesome. I don't know. The thing for me was it was just cool flying around.
It is
something
a VTOL
that looked
design.
like a
even
wing
though it's a flying wing,
that flew like a quad, and it wasn't just a quadcopter. It had something more substantial to look at. And it makes it really for beginners that are wanting to get into quads. It really makes it easier to fly. They can see, keep orientation better. So it's a good like gateway drug into drones or.
Did you change your link to the new 3-way piece that you're?
I sure did, man.
You're the man. Oh, there you go. $69. Give me a break. That ain't nothing.
Yeah.
In this world. I think so Badass is what we did last week, and I spoke with Lucian Miller, and we talked about his new Badass line of motors, which sound like the new kind of gold standard, if you ask me, of third-party motors. You can watch the whole interview. We talk about all the pieces and how he put this together and how many years in research they've been doing. And even all the way to the mounts, he really thought everything out. And it's getting a great response. Everyone's really excited about it. So good on Lucian, who may be in the audience because he said he was going to turn us on. I don't know what else we have or have not spoken of. My Aero Star is live. If you're curious about that, go check it out. Jason, this is you, right?
The Cub, yeah. I did the Cubby.
And this is recently released, like a week or so ago. Maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah,
maybe
October 2nd.
I don't know if we've spoken about it.
The Kabun Z Kubi.
It's my favorite intro.
That's how they say it in Australia.
It's short and sweet.
What's up, everybody? Jason Cole here with RCGroups.com, and we've got a.
I really need to go in and swap around and link the ailerons so they're not separate from the flaps, or so they are separate from the flaps.
And so it's different from the Carbon Z Cub that we were flying?
It's, slightly different. It's obviously a new color scheme. The motor, the power system is the same, but they've upgraded the motor with an extra bearing, so it's a little bit more durable. The wing tips have been changed, so it's a little bit more stable in slow flight. And the landing gear, better, much better wheels, much better suspension landing gear system. So they took all basically the negatives that we didn't like about the other one and fixed it. Well, and now it's got a built-in battery tray, so you don't have to do the Morgan Mill wooden one, which is great. But
I wonder if they looked at any of our hop-ups and then were like, "Hey, we should work on this." So let me ask you this: one of the issues the Carbon Z was that I had to carry a plastic box full of screws. And,
so they didn't improve it too much. Like, I don't know, they got to do what they got to do, and they've got their whole business plan and looking at things. But they came out with that Carbon Z Cessna 150, which I still have and love. Flew it last month actually at my birthday out on the lake, and it's got the complete plug-in style wing. Right, you don't have to worry about connectors. It just plugs in. It's connected when you slide the wing on. So I feel like they should have done that to this system, to this wing, and you still have to plug in servo wires. Now they're captured in the fuselage, and you just grab it from the wing and plug it in. It's not that big of a deal, but there is still there's loose hardware. So there's 2 screws that you screw in on the wing on top of this one. They're thumb screws now, so you don't need any tools. It's all toolless, but you do have to have you have to have that screw and not lose them. And then the clips for the strut attachment. There's like a pin and a clip system. You got to keep those with you, stick it in the back, stick it back in the airplane. Don't forget them or you can't fly. So,
while we're talking about this, I flew the Lanes Planes Electric Norman at Nashpro a lot because it stayed together in one piece. And it also was a night flyer, which I really enjoy it. And people would say, "Hey, are you going to take it up?" And then people would show up with kids and that. So I kept flying it and flying it and flying it. And then a guy went up with a night radian, and it was the word has to be brilliant with the pulsating lights and all that stuff.
Did you not see my review of the night radian?
I did, but I've never stood in a pasture, and I know that I have. I'm sure that I've stood in a pasture and seen it. But it was my bird and his bird. We were the only 2 in the sky at that moment. And when I saw it, I was like, I should drop the cash and get a night.
In RC Fest with the fireworks show, they were flying night radians up in the fireworks.
Now, can you alter the pattern of what
you're
playing?
Yeah, so it's manually. It comes stock. There's the 3 little button remote in it, so you can press and go forward or backward in the chain and change the speed even of the flashes. But there is a third party. You have to solder, cut wires and solder it on, but there's a remote switch so that you can control it through your receiver from your radio. So you could move a switch and change the light patterns and stuff and speeds.
Could you make it like all red and black or all red and white or something?
It's preset. You can't program the colors. You can only switch through the pre-programmed patterns, but there is one that is all red. There's like all red, all green, all blue, maybe all white.
Okay. And that way you would know you're playing. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to share this and say thank you as well. And also when we end well, I'll talk about that in a second. So we have the Extreme Flight Cajun Huck Fest coming on. That's Johnny Falgott, who I worked a little bit with last year on this event with. And so Casey Ducia actually reached out to me and she said, "Jim, here's some information." And the beauty part, Jason, is that she knew what I needed. I needed to know about the show, what people can expect, dates, all that stuff. And so she sent that in, and that's up here, and you can go check that out. Also, Booma RC, this is originally where it was going to live anyway. Jason's USRA Race of Champions is on there. Tucson Aerobatics Shootout is going on, and I know that Casey is going to be there. So she contacted me and said, JT, would you like some photos? So I'm trying to make it easy on her and not make it a lot of work, but we will have photos coming out of the Tucson Aerobatics Shootout from the lovely Miss Casey.
Awesome.
And then also, who did this? Casey did this for me too. Do I say that? Yeah, from Casey Ducey. So the Clover Creek Senior TOC, this is like all the pilots that Jason and I respected coming up. And now I guess they're seniors. And so they had a senior division, or it was all seniors. And this is a little write-up from Casey. And then she provided photos of the whole dang deal.
Nice.
That is on Flying Giants for you to check out off the homepage.
Wish I could have been there for that one.
There's the girls, which I believe is the highest looked at photo from the whole event coverage. Let's go see. So Miss Jessie was out there. Let's go see. 325. They win. We'll send them their crowns. And then we have scores and everything. So it's good stuff. And then some AMA who to vote for concepts and thoughts. Also, if you ever have anything like that, like a show or event coverage, or you're running for an office, any kind of awareness that you need, send it to me or Jason, and we are happy to do it.
That's right.
Unless it's about, I had a guy ask me the other day if he could sell bongs on the site. So that was a no. Although I understand that is legal.
Not really RC related, but okay.
Yeah, it's not really a radio control bong site anyway. And it's just, there are limits to how far we can go. All right. Well, Jason, it's almost Friday. I've been working very hard this week. I feel like we've been pushing out lots of stories and doing the deal. So I guess I'm patting ourselves on the back here.
Doing the deal.
Let's go to the live chat and thank Victor and Nick and Bildo. Who did I say hello to? Bildo, I did tell Lucian that you said hello. And I was talking to Lucian. He said, maybe I should get my podcast going again. So he's asking me to give him some theory on what he should go with these days because it's a lot easier. Thanks to Terry, Cy Jones, my favorite name. And thanks to everyone. So what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to turn the podcast off just yet because what I need to do is have this sidebar window to do a test. I can cut this out in the future so that after this goes live, I can cut out what I'm going to do. But what I'm going to do is say goodbye and thank Jason. I'm going to do the outro video, and then I'm going to try a little test on how I can get the live chat up here with us and
cool.
play around for a little bit. Jason, what you got going this weekend?
This weekend, a whole lot of resting and nothing because I've been traveling and flying airplanes and probably just hanging out with my wife. It's her birthday next week. So
I was going to ask how the chair's doing.
Yeah, she's good.
Now, I don't want to make you sad or anything, but have you gotten a new dog or are you leaving that be for now?
No, we're going to, we just got back from our vacation not too long ago and we said we're going to think about it after that, but I'm going to try to push it off as long as possible.
Yeah.
She definitely wants another dog, so it'll probably happen.
It's tricky. I think I'm allergic to our new cat. I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, just have to wait about 12 years for that to go away. My allergy. I love the cat. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's the thing that goes along with it. All right, everyone. This has been the RCGroups Hangout /podcast. If you don't look at the video, I want to thank Jason and all of our live viewers and everyone in the RC world that's shining a light on the hobby. And then I'm going to talk to y'all later.
Peace out.
Are you kidding me? Come on.
Play.
Work.
Push the button.
There it is. Take it. It's worked every time with that one. Okay. All right. So here's my concept, y'all.
We're still online?
Yeah, we're still live.
I can't see a live or not live, so you have to let me know.
Yes, we're live. I'm going to go to a new source, and it's going to be a window.
Okay.
Everyone, this is how I talk to Jason a lot. I vocalize what I'm doing, but I do it so people don't think, like, okay, what are we doing? Okay.
We're going to tell you what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about it, and then we're going to talk about what we talked about.
So there's the window, and then what I want to do, my concept is I want to chop out
can you crop
just
it? Yeah.
the live chat. So
Do you have cropping tools in that program?
Right click. I do actually, I believe. Screen color layout. Width. Can you see that?
No, you can see that.
Okay, cropping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna move a dial here.
Whoop. Wrong axis.
Yeah,
Left.
I need
Left.
to go down just
one
a
below
hair
that.
on
One
this.
below that. Oh, you're trying to crop out a little bit at the top. Crop top.
Okay, I can do this. That's good. Okay, so next I want to make it bigger so you can
Hit
actually.
that plus button. You can make it better than that.
Well, I want to make it bigger.
Yeah, you need to crop more. Get more of that left side off of there.
Yeah.
Just push the plus button. Don't use a slider.
Oh, you can see the plus button.
Yeah. Keep clicking it.
I feel like I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2. This is how I gotta keep the horse going fast by doing this.
Yeah, you could even perfectly crop the whole thing just to the chat. You can do it from the top now and the right side and make it exactly what it needs to be. Can you save that as a preset?
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is I save all of this as a preset. And then what I'm thinking is this little piece. So I have 5 different scenes, and I would want it in probably every scene.
Yeah.
So I bet I could copy paste this into each scene without having to change
it. Could you shift the entire like blue box thing all the way to the left of the screen? See how we have gray bars on the sides?
Yeah.
If we could shift the blue all the way to the left, and that would give you room to have a nice gray bar on the right where you could put the chat window. That's pretty cool. That way the guys that watch the video later can see the live chat happening.
Right. Now
we reference it a lot. That's cool. And you guys should chat more. You can see yourself.
See if negative works. I can't get it to the side. In the I'm pretty sure when you watch when you watch the video on YouTube, I'm pretty sure it shows a live chat with the video. So it does it that way. But this is better. Okay, and then I need to go up. Yeah.
Sweet. And then you can make it big all.
I'll go all the way up so it's just chat.
Yeah. I like it, dude.
Hey, you guys behave yourself better than Matt God ever did. I had to edit this podcast every week. And he always knew when he went too far because I could tell by the look on his face. I would always think, dang it, Matt. I've got to edit it. Okay, now, so there's a blank spot down here. And we're going to have that right there.
I don't know if it's big enough text to read, though.
Oh. What do you guys think? Tell us if it's big enough, because we can be smaller.
I think you need to make it way bigger.
Well, see, I would like to have it running through the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why, if you could shift the entire blue section over with
Sorry about that, Nick. Nick, I will definitely talk to you about that. Nashpro got all up in my grill. Okay, so then I'm going to go like this, and let's see if I can copy it. No? There's got to be a way to copy it. Copy. Yeah. Okay, so then I'm going to go to scene 2, and that would be like RCGroups, and so then I'm going to go edit paste. Paste as new source. That did not work. Well, I don't really need to keep doing this here since I have it. Wait a minute. What happened?
Oh, no.
Oh, you know what happened? We got off this channel. We got off that channel. So there's a channel. So that window has to stay open. And the live chat would not work when I would go, let's say, to RCGroups.
Well, you could just only have it on that one screen if that's what it needs to be.
How did you get so big, I wonder? All right. But I can tweak it now. So
milk and vegetables.
There's that. And then when I go to that, I got to go there. So we would only have the live chat on this screen, which is fine. Yeah. So they said the size is good. All right, everybody. You know what I didn't do? I've not eaten lunch, and it's 3 o'clock.
Better get some food in you.
I can feel it. All right. Now, the next thing, I'm going to try to go out with the video again, and then I'm going to try to hit the broadcast button at exactly the right time because I've yet to do that. Once again, thank you all for being live. Nick, let's work on that, and I'm going to hit this. And I'm going to hit this.